Right, so we are back and the generator is on. So guys, what I think I'm going to do is get some of these doors cut in bits and pieces like that, so that I can try and make sense of this. This is all the sort of chemicals that we'll have, and they're going to be up on this wall here. And obviously we need a door for there, we need a door for down there, we need a shelf for there, we need a bottom part for there, we need wood for around this bit as well. And we should really be getting there. I'm just waiting on some electrics coming in that were on order. So we've got 12 volt switches, I think there's about 5 of them, and they'll control everything that needs to be in here. So all we're basically doing here is building like a flat pack, as you can see, just like you get from a furniture store, but obviously I can custom make it in a way that I really want it to be. But that shelf will be obviously like that, so will that, and then up on the wall she'll go. And of course the idea is that she's going to hold, where is it? She's going to have to hold a couple of 5 litre tubs. Now I know that the normal 5 litre tubs are actually bigger than this, and I haven't even got one tub. But this is quite narrow, it's sometimes what you get with oil. But I need to be able to fit coolant in there, among a couple of other things. So obviously now with the height, it's going to have to be about there, because in the next shelf, because obviously I have to pull this out. And obviously we'll have to have a little piece of wood running along like that actually. You know, so it doesn't sort of fall out. No, I think we're going to get 1, 2 out of this. If you can imagine that being up on the wall, look. So the 5 litre tubs are normally about that, but look at a spray bottle for example, and I've got to give a bit of room to pull it out, you know, up top. I think I just have to put a shelf and then be done with it, guys. There's not a whole lot more I can do on that. Oh me, I think we're out of fuel, guys. I think the generator's just died. It's either that or that switch might have tripped. So that's the generator topped up, guys. Look, Herbie's quite happy away over there. Right, so we've got the major pieces cut for the wall cupboard. We've got the door cut for that. It's going to need a lot of sanding, I think, just to make it fit properly. And I think the last thing out will be something in here. Still not quite sure to go with there, but we'll soon see. And obviously there's a flap that needs to come down there as well, you know, for the chemical toilet. So almost all the major cutting for this place is almost there. Because I'm still trying to decide how to finish off, you know, the side of the plywood, you know, do I have them flush, you know, and screw them in at the sides? Personally, I think that would look a lot better, but I think I'll wait till we've sanded them down to see if we can just get rid of that layered look that plywood has. I'm sure you can, I've seen it before, just give it a good rub down. So we can do that. But yeah, next one as well, guys, we're going to be putting on an extendable workbench that will go up and down like that. So of course when we're not using the tools and we've got Herbie in here, all that stuff's that side. But when we are, I can lift this up. And of course with it being so tall, I can get underneath and round the bike, you see. So that'll be good. Right, so another couple of cuts, and that's for in here, a floor for this and the floppy door that comes down. So what I'm going to do hopefully is cut the length and hoping that it'll do that and that, but I'm not sure. I'll have to see. Yeah, so don't worry, this video will be packed with stuff, guys, but look, there's the bottom section in now, which is really good. Cuts wise, I think that's almost it actually, cuts wise, for down here anyway. Up there we just need to put in a shelf, all that there obviously, that cupboard. But that is looking good. Of course the big thing, guys, to get this winch mounted maybe in this episode. I'll certainly get to it very soon, there's no doubt about that. But for now, it's back for supper. Yeah, so look, big pile of firewood still to cut, look. But what I'm going to do is take it home in the trailer in lengths and cut them at home. That's the idea anyway. But guys, we really need to get this job finished off. You know, it's taken a little while. I'd like to be done by now. Back home, look, this is my wife taking care of me. Look at this. Knows I was out cold in the lorry, working away. Nice and simple, guys. Look, chops, tatties and mushrooms. So there we go, guys, look. That is going to be the size of it. Oh my goodness, son. I mean, it is pretty big. And I think what we're going to get is on these on the bottom, aren't we, son? The sort of gallon tubs. Yeah. Then the smaller stuff like spray bottles, and then really small stuff up at the top.
These type of size. And then on the top, this kind of size.
Yeah, the WD and that. But that is awesome, son. Awesome. David's fishing knife. A lovely little thing. We just take the grinder to a light disc.
Yeah, it was like really rusty.
We need a proper knife cleaning. You actually need more like a stone.
Yeah. Like
a grinding stone, but we'll get that. Right, so this is the box, as you can see, that goes up onto there, which is great. So we've got enough for gallon tubs that go along the bottom. This is a gallon tub as well, but it's a lot narrower. So I think, guys, we're going to have to take the height of that spray bottle, and that is our full height. And maybe just a little rim going along, you know, so we can actually get it out and in. But yeah, the gallon tubs can go along there. David has just noted that it's snowing. Goodness me, an Ulfranker Discovery Land Rover is away over there, isn't he, off the road? Anyway, check it out, guys, look at that. There we go. So the idea here is we're going to put all our fluids and all our bits and pieces up in these shelves. Hey, son. Now, I think probably, because I'm sure that metal bar is straight, so that's it lying on there. So all I do is just make sure they're absolutely level on the way up, and we need to put on fronts to them. But I think we're going to have sliding doors, aren't we, son? I think we need sliding doors on there. So there we are. Obviously got to put on doors for that as well. We'll just play it by ear. We'll just go by, you know, what we see. But that is looking really good. I think we need doors because obviously if Herbie's in here, I don't want chemicals flying around our tools. Everything will be lashed down. Even the front of that will be armed, so will that. That'll be good. Yeah, so we did abort the wild camp, but I think we made the right decision, guys. It's freezing out there. You know.
And it's currently still snowing. Wait, no, stop.
I mean, this thing isn't really ready for that. But anyway, this is the kind of doors I'm thinking on for through there, you see, because we've still we can reuse these runners, and that's easy. That's just, I don't know, is that 8mm ply or something? And that would be good. That would be really good. And as you can see, we are starting to get there, slowly but surely. You know, getting storage for all this stuff is really important. We're going to try and leave this bottom shelf as empty as we can and keep stuff up, you know, because there's not, you know, you always need space for something. I'm going to leave this as one huge cupboard, and it's basically going to be empty most of the time. If we're going to do joinery work, the joinery work tools can go in there. If we're going, you know, out the bikes or just whatever, Sam. Got a chemical toilet for in there that we could have been done with last night, actually. Maybe we should get one, son. But I'm starting to get into a bit of a mess, but you know something, guys? Once I've finished that, I'll tidy up. Seems to be my life tidying up. So here we go, look at my boy. Just getting his treats in first before we go in, Herbs? That'll be good. And he likes his, some had his carrots. Now it's time for his apple. Good boy, I love this boy, I'll tell you guys. Love him. Yeah, my boy Herbs is way more Scottish than I am, Herbie boy? He used to live upside Loch Ness. Well, up and over the hill, up in the high ground. So he knows about weather. This is nothing compared to what he's been through. Hey, son. There he goes. Look, he'll just follow me. Come on then, son. Good boy. And that's where we're heading back to just in a little while. Let's get Herbie onto this hay and we'll get going. Got lots to do, obviously. Alright, so let's get the generator warmed up now, guys. Look. Yeehaw! So, guys, showing the need for a hoover. Check it out. Now, the bottom part of this upright hoover's from our house, and the bottom part broke. It just will not fix. So I've taken the top section from here, and after all this cutting, I've done the worst of it. And we can just suck up all the different things that we do in here. But it just shows you, you know, we're going to need some sort of a curtain or a cover or something when we're rubbing down stuff for painting or cutting stuff. You know, it's just, it'd be an absolute disaster. There'd be everything everywhere all the time. The next little thing, actually quite a major component of what we're doing in the back of here, is our 1.5 ton winch, which is far bigger than we need for the 250 kilo Suzuki Bandit and the 190 kilo Fireblade, but it will do the job really well. I like doubling up on stuff, it's just the way I am. But yeah, so those of you who don't know, it's going up on that crossbar there, look. And the idea then is for it to go, oh, watch out for the lights, so when the back bit goes down, I'll get a clear line of sight down to whatever it's pulling up. Me and my boy David tried to pull a quad up that back door, absolutely impossible. And that was just hand power. I'm sure we could drive them up, that's not too big a deal, but with the big bikes I'd rather not be doing a bit of a rally scrambling job to get them in the back of here, you know. But this build is obviously all about doing it on a budget, guys, and check this out, look. Now that, along with all the little tools I got online, it's actually off an app called Teemu, and I spent about £17, and they got all these different little bits and pieces and all that sort of stuff on this, look. So this now gives me the 5 switches for the things that are going to be in the back of here. Ideally, the speaker system for the stereo and the amplifier. Then you've got the winch up there. I don't think I can wire a 240 volt monitor through that. I wouldn't think so. So that doesn't matter anyway, because we can control that from the other side. So very, very important, you know. And we could have a little 12 volt compressor in here actually. That's actually quite a good idea to think about that as well. But again, the idea, guys, is to do everything on a budget. That's my old one from the shed. These were fairly cheap. You want to use the word cheap, inexpensive, but really, really good as far as I'm concerned. And obviously in here, I don't need the branded tools. You know, all I have is what we need, and that's it. You know what I mean? So I have been able to get a lot of different tools, some from our own, to put in here. So of course, guys, look, electrical stuff, get in there. And then up in here is going to be air tools. Then we've got plumbing stuff, maybe. I might change my mind there. And then metalwork stuff. And up here, just the general tools that we need. Obviously, just what we need. That's all. Over here's more of storage. Electrical, fuses, bolts, nuts, washers, grommets. Oh me, all of that. This big one here, guys, we are going to leave open. We're going to have a door, but we're going to have it really big and open. Because I need that to be empty all the time, so that if we do joinery work, I can throw all that in there. Obviously that hoover can go in there too. There's lots of other little bits and pieces that I can just throw in there and keep it. And this is another one, look, 200 metres of barbed wire for Herbie's fence. So this is kind of like the second stage of the fence to completely armour it up, which will be great. So obviously I can keep things like that here. And for the bit we're doing just now, I'm going to rob these runners off of this here, because we're going to put a big widescreen TV up there. But I'm going to use these runners for our that shelf cupboard that I've just put up. But one of the things I really need to get on with kind of after that is the living area. You know, we're going to have just that for our sink, our cooker, fridge, oh dear me, you know, just to get it all in that bit there. But when I come up needing a coffee, you know, we're really just not ready for that, you know, even just for coffees and that. So I really need to get this last bit done, you know, and a lot of it's about hygiene as well, you know. I know wild camping's not hygienic, you know, living out in the countryside and sleeping out in a tent, but you know. So we're looking out for a chemical toilet in the selling pages for down there. So that'll be really good. Hopefully I'll get one for like £20, maybe £30. That'll be great. And obviously all those fluids are just out of my garage at home, you know, that they've got no real reason to be there now. They might as well be here. And again, I want to leave as much for storage all the time, you know, temporary storage. So I'm going to try and move as much as I can up top, you know, things that we barely use, you know, like brake fluid and jack oil. Put all that stuff up at the top. Stuff we really need to use, WD-40 grease, having all that to hand. Cleaning stuff, filter spray bottles. This thing will have it all. You know, so check it out in here, for example, drill bits, grinder bits. This is all stock, tie wraps. Probably need a bit more when it comes to tie wraps and stuff. Then we've got gasket paper, gasket seal, grease, spark plugs. And again, that's just at a very low level just now. And hopefully you'll see just with the electrical stuff, like just what we need. But even then, I think there might be a little bit more when it comes to that, you know, for electrical connections. But again, guys, just the basics. Nice and inexpensive tools. Like the little toolkits you'll see down there. There's a chain breaker. There's a brake fluid pump there as well. We're going to put in suspension coil tools and all sorts of different things, you know. But just the basics, because this could get quite heavy. That box by itself is very heavy. That plywood is fairly heavy. But it had to be nice and strong. Yeah, and we'll get our big West Coast custom speakers up there with a winch in the middle and a big amplifier. So we have got major music. The monitor there, which will be the same on the other side, you can watch through here. So when we go away as a family, I can actually sit through here, me and David, and watch while the girls are through there in comfort. Anyway, I've spoken long enough. That pure generator's been running for a while and I haven't even started. So I need to get some cutting done, get some of these doors made. I need to cut off the wheels of that thing as well so we can drop it down and then put on the new bit. Yeah, so there we go. And obviously Herbie and second horse are going to go in here, across the way like that. You know, so this will be all sort of boarded off, as it were, with the big dividers. But I'm still going to have, just as you see here, to the length, whatever it will be, it'll need to be above that part anyway, is another counter that can come up like that. And that means we'll have all that space in here. And of course, when we get Herbie, that'll go down and stow away nicely. And we can lock everything up so nothing flies out, you know, and hits my poor boy. I'm really, really paranoid about that. You know, well, careful about that, I should say. But yeah, that's going to be another little great idea. But I think I'm going to get this flap on here, down it drops, and then it's going to have its chemical toilet up and closed. Same again with this door that'll open either way we kind of go. I'm not quite sure yet. Yeah, so the rule always is, guys, measure twice, cut once. So I'm just going to measure that line again and then cut it. This is the bit for going on here as our new extendable. Now, I might have a little extra cut to do here actually. I'm just thinking, you know, I've done it perfectly from there to there, which is 520, but we've got that, and then we've got a piece of ply, the same as that going there, and then wet wall, you know, because this is a splash area for Herbie being in here. So I need to shave off another 10 mil off of that thing. And there we go. So guys, I've marked it, look, so that's the front, this counter, the top, that's the left, that's the right. Because the thing is, when I'm needing another piece, I'll go, oh, that piece there. I'll go and cut it and think, flipping heck, that's what that was for. But I don't want to put it on just yet. I want to measure the wet wall that we've got, just to make sure. So when this comes up, it'll be perfectus, hopefully. It'll be perfectus. There's the next door on. Hopefully we'll get that one on and that bit there done today. That's what I want, and try and get that door as well. We'll see. But my mate's just actually phoned us. There's a gas leak at our local leisure centre swimming pool. So he's heading down there with heaps of these radiators to keep the guys warm. So I'm going to give him a hand do that when he arrives, but I can't see him. He's not coming yet. But I'll try to get as much done before he gets back. But yeah, hopefully you'll see as we go down there, like, see the gap that's there? That's because that bottom part needs pulled in, and then that will be absolutely perfect. The bottom's absolutely fine, and you'll just see at the top, look. So there's a gap. So we need to take that top section off there, and then we'll go down there, same again. But I think when we pull that in, that'll obviously come across. So what we have to do is pull that in first and then put this board back on. But that is going to be the height of the door, which looks absolutely fantastic. And you know something, guys, I've still got sheets of aluminium off the old caravan that we took apart. I'm wondering about that. Aluminium doors, aluminium look doors, you know. Let's see. Now, the thing I've got to think about here is the actual finish of this. Hopefully you'll see this because we've got the halogen right on there. Look, the edge of this, it's all quite rough, you know. You can paint that, but I think you'd still see the lines. From past experience anyway, I'm sure that's what happens. But if you look here, guys, look, I've sanded there. And that is lovely. Look, and then goes back on the rough stuff. The reason I'm looking at that just now is because if I put parts on here, for example, you know, trim pieces like that, then it's going to affect the doors and everything else, you know. Because that means we'd have to put a trim piece here as well, I would think. So I'm going to try and get away without doing trim pieces. Maybe just up on here actually, just to put a rim all the way around the whole thing. That'd be quite nice. But I think for the rest of it, no. But great thing about this is we can decide that a little later as well, you know. So there you go, look. See that? That's just keeping us out of shape. I need to hold it right there, nice and tight.